Well, hello everyone. Good morning, good evening. Hope you're all enjoying your Saturday wherever you are. We're back with another chat and we're super prepared and we always know what we're about to do. So about 10 seconds ago, we decided we're talking about writing from an author's perspective. So that's
Writing
our
or
topic for
reading?
today. Oh, reading. Oh,
Starting strong.
Yeah, we're up on a high note.
writing, reading, is there any difference? Yeah, we meant reading, like books that you get and read. Alina, get your shit together for once. See, this is why YouTube doesn't want us to advertise, because I have no clue. I'm to blame.
They know that the
It's all
crazy will
Alina's
spread.
fault.
Oh God. Oh, people in the chat. Wow. Hi everyone. Hi Jazz. Hi CJ.
Hello.
Thanks for hanging in the chat. I'll try to get myself sorted. No promises though. So let's start with a basic question. When did everyone start reading on their own? Like the moment when you told your parents, I don't want you to read stories to me, I'll read them myself.
My
was
parents
really
never
weird.
really read to me. Who's talking?
Go on, Sarah.
Yeah, my parents never really read to me, so I thought other people looked cool when they were reading, so I just wanted to learn how to read.
And how old were you?
I have no idea. Like I didn't go to preschool because I went one day and had a nervous breakdown there, and they just removed me.
Okay, that sounds.
So yeah, my early childhood is kind of just like a mix of me crying for various reasons.
Okay. Makes perfect sense.
It's most of my adulthood too, but we just don't talk about it.
I use it for productive reasons.
Yes.
Right?
Always. I can relate to the idea of everyone looking cool when reading, because my parents and everyone around me used to read, and they would read to me occasionally, but that wasn't good enough for me, because I wanted to be like everyone else, and I kept badgering people until someone gave in and taught me how to read. And I remember the first book I read on my own. I had this pencil and I would follow the sentences as I read them with the pencil so that I don't forget my place. It was awesome. And I was about 4.5, I think. Which
wow,
was,
that's early.
Yeah, 4.5, 5, around there. Which was a good thing on one hand, because I learned how to read fast. Wow, yay, go Alina. Then I went to school and I got bored for the first few years, because I wanted to learn how to read and write. My father wanted me to know how to add and subtract way past my age, so I got bored. I got really bored. The only fun I had in school was English, because that was new, and we started in my 2nd grade. And I think I had a bit of fun with multiplying, but that didn't last because I learned it, and that's it, I guess. But yeah, I did learn how to read because I thought it was uber cool to read your own stories.
Yeah, and I think I largely learned how to read at the same time I was wanting to write. Like I remember, this is probably very telling. I really built myself a cupboard under the stairs, but this was like 1989, so it was pre-Harry Potter. Where I had a desk and my papers, and first of all, I would try to write stories in there, but the other thing I would do is that I thought that writing looked really cool, but writing in cursive looked so cool. So I would sit in there and try to pretend I knew how to write in cursive, even though I didn't know how to print. And I would bring out these scribbles to my parents and be like, which letter does this look like? And they're like, that doesn't look like anything.
Print was discouraged in school. We learned cursive, actually, to write. I mean, books were printed, obviously, so there was no cursive. But when they taught you how to write, cursive is what they taught for the most part.
Yeah, and they don't even teach cursive in the U.S. anymore.
I know, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But
it was like
it was like
your third step.
Yeah, no, we had calligraphy too.
Yeah,
in primary school. That was I sucked at that. Like I completely.
Yeah, no, that's like an art class here.
Yeah, it was. I don't know why there was a point for that class. It was. I mean, if it would have been taught as art, I think it would have been more interesting. But just forcing yourself to write as pretty as you could in cursive wasn't the most appealing thing ever for me.
Slow. Super slow.
Oh God, yeah, slow too.
Well, and if I was good at that, I'd draw instead of writing.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure that's a lovely thing if you're an artist.
Yeah.
No, I don't need a. No.
Yeah. It is if your art is around calligraphy, then.
Some people are super good at it.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those.
Yeah, it's super pretty too, but I think it takes a very special kind of control over your hands.
Yeah, power of the people who can do it.
Yeah.
I'm just like if I. Yeah, go ahead, Misha.
Now, when I was at school, basically, actually told me not to learn how to read when I was very small because they knew I would be bored. So they kind of kept me possible until I could school, and then they basically just let me. Would say, okay, well, no, did you learn how to read? Yes, okay, yourself, and that was basically it. And I basically started reading, and I think I was 8 when I read The Three Musketeers, but like the big unabridged version of the book, because there was this TV that was about but adapted for children. So then I wanted to read the original. After that, I just basically read whatever the heck I wanted to read. And then, but on the subject of the handwriting, but I love drawing and things, but like slowing down, I can't slow down when my brain is like racing. So it's just easier to just write terribly, and what I'm writing later and remember what I wrote, that's fine. So.
Yeah, that's perfectly sufficient. I don't think our parents had a lot of options when it came to our free time, especially during the winter, because there was no TV. What TV? I mean, we got an hour, maybe half an hour on Sundays. There was a film on Wednesdays, I think, and that was in the evening, and that's it. I mean, you played outside in the summer, fine, but in the winter it was kind of not the same thing. So reading was one of the few pastimes, which helped, I guess, because I never had a problem reading in school. I didn't dread reading what was required. Although, in hindsight, maybe they shouldn't have made us read some of those stories. I mean, I talked about this before, but they were traumatizing. I'm writing an entire serial killer story based on a children's tale. So that explains it, right?
Well, like some of them, like even like the Brothers Grimm and stuff, like Cinderella and all of those, like they're dark stories. Fucked up.
That's nice. That's on the nice side compared to the stories we read. Like literally, there's this goat going home, and her little kiddies are murdered, and their heads are severed, and they're displayed in the windows, and there's blood everywhere, and the little one survives.
That's a weird thing.
They're killed by a wolf, and then the mama goat sets a trap she sets a table, invites the wolf falls in a fire and burns. It's yeah, lovely story.
Sets a good foundation.
Yeah. I mean, probably why when I read the girl with the matches, it didn't faze me. Like, oh, she died. Great.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the girl died in the end.
You're supposed to lead by saying that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was bad of me. I spoiled a great story for people. Let me spoil another one. The Little Mermaid actually ends badly.
Oh my god, so many of those end badly. Sleeping Beauty.
Does that end badly?
Yeah, that one ends badly. That one
I
ends
don't
with
know.
stupid stuff.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yep. Bad. Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think these stories didn't start as children's stories. They were folk tales and they were cautionary.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. The whole point of the story with the goat was, if there's a stranger at the door, don't fucking open it. But there was another story about a bird, a baby bird. He's hatched in the spring, whatever, he grows up and he doesn't listen to his mommy and he flies when he wasn't supposed to fly, and a hunter shoots him and his wing is wounded, and it gets cold and his mom and his brothers need to fly away, and the story pretty much ends with the bird dead and ants eating his eyes out.
Oh my god.
Great story for 10-year-olds. Absolutely excellent. We all listened to our parents a lot more after that for the next month or so. Until we remembered, oh, well, it's okay. So one might say it's a miracle I write happy endings.
You write happy endings? Where's the fun in that?
It's fun if you make them work for it. Like if it's not just, oh, here, happy ending. Like in one of my stories, I made the character wait for like 13 years to get his happy ending.
Oh, that's just nasty.
Oh, well, from 13 to 26, it's not that bad.
No, that's not so bad.
And then I let him be happy for 6 months, and then I decided I want to write a novella, so I made things shitty for him again. Let's get his happy ending, though.
Oh.
Like, why should things be easy for my characters? Like, and I feel like the more I write and the busier I get and the crazier I get, I make it harder on them because pay, bitches, pay.
Yeah, I'm sitting here making all kinds of farmyard noises, and then I realized that one of my sets of characters has a character that's immortal, and he hasn't had like 20 years. So it's like, yeah, okay, I can't really talk.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Why wouldn't you torture your characters? It's not like you write them because you like them or something.
Exactly. Where would the fun be if we just left them alone to live a peaceful life?
Yeah, there would be no story.
Entertaining. Yeah, exactly.
You finish the story in one paragraph and that's it. Like, anyway. What did you read growing up? Did you read what your friends were reading, or did you read outside of the general trends?
I read a lot of weird stuff. Lots of ancient Egypt, because that was my thing. That was my jam back in the day. Chapter books, history books. I liked history. That's always been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter was big when I was growing up, and I never read Harry Potter, and I don't know, it just didn't stick with me. I'm a weird outlier in that case.
Sarah?
I never read kids' books at all. I never liked them. I read a little bit of Roald Dahl. I read like The Island of the Blue Dolphins, and a couple other like staples from that period of time. But like, I just never got into them. I did not like them. I think I read the first Stephen King book I read was Eyes of the Dragon, and I think I was 9 when I read that. And at that point, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not reading these kids' books anymore.
Yeah, makes sense.
Although I will tell you, I learned the word flaccid at that point, and then became very embarrassed by my knowledge of what the word flaccid meant, and was very embarrassed.
Oh, that's such a good word, though.
Yeah, it was directly related to a penis in this respect, though. So my my 9-year-old brain was just like, oh! So
I never read what the other girls read because I didn't see the point.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that. I mean, I can read the Three Musketeers and Winnie Two and whatever action adventure stuff my guy friends were reading. And I was always talking about books with the boys. Felt really strange at times when I couldn't talk to the other girls. But then I got used to that because that was like the story of my childhood. Me staring at other girls and not understanding what was going on. The worst period of my life was that weird period when boys don't want to hang with girls anymore. And I suffered terribly. One day it got so bad that they banished me and they sent me to play with the girls. And I stood there on a little blanket while they were changing dresses on their dolls or whatever. And then we started making dresses. And they made these really complicated gowns. And I was fascinated by the fact that they could. And then when I had to make it, I just cut like a rectangular piece of cloth, made a hole in the middle, put it like on the doll, like 2 flaps around her body, and tied it with a little piece of material. Dress, done.
Done. Perfect. Ready for the ball.
I enjoyed it so much that the next day I had already come up with a plan to be readmitted in the guys group. And that plan was pretty much be the last one that has a functional ball after they, all the others explode. And then they were like, oh, can we have your ball to play football? Yeah, if I can play too. Asshole. So, yeah.
I used to try and play football with the guys, but they did not want me to play with them, so I ended up being the line of scrimmage instead. And yeah, that was fun. Just moving down the field and sitting there being a marker.
Oh God.
Yeah, my neighborhood, I didn't have options to play with the boys very much because one of the boys, I suspect it was my older brother, but I'm not 100% sure, acquired a copy of the Anarchist's Cookbook. And they spent, 3 years of my childhood just making bombs. So I was all like, I'll be over here where we're not lighting green trees on fire because this isn't like, possible. But
oh wow.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I want to find a copy of that so bad.
You can find it online now pretty easily.
Yeah, in
it's
PDF
mostly bullshit too, but like they were making like works bombs, which the works is incredibly caustic. It's I guess you put like a little bit of tin foil in a bottle or something, and with the works, it like does not do well, and then it causes I don't know like how it worked, but like it was all like household shit. So like my brother would be like, we're cleaning the garage over at Grand's house. Like, no, they're not. Like, they're not cleaning anything.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, that would be so funny. Not to be around, but to hear about.
Yeah. Well, and they did other things like they had you had to climb up onto the roof of this garage, which was the boys' clubhouse. And then we had a girls' clubhouse that was like on the other side of the neighborhood. But the boys' clubhouse had a tire swing that was not actually attached. It was just wrapped around a branch twice. And the only way to get on the tire swing was to jump off of the roof of the garage.
Oh, wow.
Oh. And they're like, you guys are all pussies. You won't do this. And I'm like, no, I'm just not an idiot. Like, I'm aware of how gravity works. But you're over here blowing up a pop bottle, so which one of us is stupid? So
Jesus.
I actually have a partial buzz cut. I have an undercut. I like it a lot, and I wholly recommend it because it's so light and your head does not get hot, and it's not heavy. And you can decide whether or not you want to show people.
well, and as far as like a full buzz cut, I've seen some women like fucking rock it.
Yeah, some
like,
women just look great in it.
They just
I
like,
don't think I'm one of them, but
I don't think it would work on me either very well, but like there are definitely women with a buzz cut where I'm like, you are killing it.
Oh man, one of my friends, her one side of her head is shaved, but the other side is long. Oh, she pulls it off so well. She's gorgeous.
I had a teacher's assistant in college, and she was tall and brunette and had these really big eyes and really big full lips. She looked awesome, and she cut her hair. She buzz cut it, and it just set off her eyes so nicely, and she wore like really bold lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
She was perfect, man. And I wanted to do that in high school. Luckily I didn't, because I don't think it would have been a great look on me.
Yeah.
I mean, I already looked like way younger than my age. That would have just made it worse. I think I would have. Yeah, I think they would have forced me to go into secondary school because I was too young for high school or something. But I pictured myself doing that because I was doing karate then, and I thought, oh, this would be so cool. It would work into my overall look and stuff. But nah, I never did it. I think there was a conversation with my mom, and I got a no. Like a hard no.
No.
Or I chickened out. One of the two. Probably I chickened out.
That is definitely something that once you do, you can't go back.
You can't just say, I'm done with this.
Yeah. And at this point, like, I would do it for the whole low maintenance thing. Because one of the reasons I'm so late and my hair is so wet is because my hair is so high maintenance that I have to make a homemade mask with a lot of oils in it and put it on my hair and leave it for 4 hours and then wash it off, and it's, oh god. But then again, I like braiding my hair, so
hair grows back, but it takes a long time and people are impatient.
Oh, it's not just that, but when my hair is short, it's a lot more high maintenance than when it's long.
Oh, especially when it's shaved.
It's just
cut it constantly.
It just sticks in every which way. And I remember a period where I would just wash it every day and style it, because if I slept, it would just be a complete mess. It looked like birds had slept in my hair for the entirety of the year and then decided to leave. So it's easier to maintain it long, weird as it sounds.
Yeah, I could almost sit on my hair, and then I got a pixie cut, like immediately, and it was beautiful for like 2 weeks, and then after that, I looked like a struggling 9-year-old boy.
Yeah, I did that too. I did it in high school. I had like really long hair until around here, halfway down my back, and then I cut it this short. And it was a nice cut. It looked well, but I had to style it every day because my hair doesn't want to do things the normal way. Like, no. And once I slept on it and it got its weird shape, nothing would help. I just had to wash it and then style it. So nobody has time for that. Like,
my hair is so low maintenance in comparison to when it was short. Like, I hardly have to cut it ever. Just the short part gets cut, really, and then it's so chill. It just keeps straight and does its thing, and I'm so happy.
Right, and like you can just get a trim when you need a trim, and it's almost no real trouble.
Yeah. Well, I color it, so I go for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I color mine all the time too. Oh man, I'm so angry.
It's just my source.
I tried to dye my hair yesterday with henna stuff. It didn't dye at all.
Oh god.
Like, what a waste.
Yeah, that's really
Sorry.
frustrating.
Yeah,
I gotta buy more.
Like when I used to do it just one color, all of it, I could do it myself. Although it's a freaking pain in the ass because I've got a lot of hair. Like a lot.
It takes forever.
It takes forever if it's not a professional doing it. It just takes for fucking ever. And to do something more complex with colors, like no. I don't know how to do it. My mom is not good at that. Like I tried, it turned into a mess. No, I have to go get it colored. But the reality is the stylist I'm going to is not very expensive. I don't understand why. It's because of the salon she works in. That's how their prices are. But if I had to pay more, I'd probably cut it and dye it myself because I can't be bothered. No. Sometimes the prices are ridiculous. Like compared to the income in Romania, it's like, oh, an entire month minimum wage on a hair dye.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
That's why I buy box dye and make Travis do my head.
Yeah, no, I'm okay paying a reasonable amount for a professional to do it because I'm so bad at it. But I would never go to the high-end, super fancy salons where they do the exact same thing but for more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I think if I was into primary colors, I might feel a little different about it. But as a general rule, I like natural hair colors, so I don't really need to go too far for it. And I also don't give a shit if I ruin my hair. Like, I'll just cut it off. I don't care.
Yeah,
that makes it easy.
That's why I'm just like, whatever, just buy a box dye. It'll either stick or it won't. Like, the reason my hair got cut this last time is because I had bleached it so much that the dye wouldn't stick anymore. So I was like, well, just cut that part off and I'll start over.
See, the problem with going to a barber, even if you have short hair or long hair, for women, it's usually the same price. It's about $30 either way. So it doesn't matter if you have short hair, it's still going to cost you the same amount almost. It's the biggest like milking for money that I've ever.
I had someone recommend that I go to the salon yesterday, and their haircuts are like $85.
Yeah, like it's
right now.
ridiculous.
No.
But the only reason why it costs more for women than it costs for men is because women will pay it. Men won't. They just won't.
Yeah, they'll just do it themselves, and they don't care if it looks like shit for a week or two.
They'll put a bowl on their head and cut around it and call it a day.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care.
So, that's just the reality of it. Because I mean, it's the same with deodorant and other products. I mean, a guy would be perfectly comfortable using body lotion as his face cream and hand cream and everything. I have to get 3 different products just for that. And even then I can't get anything because I have ultra sensitive skin and whatever.
Yeah.
So,
or even for like pants. Women pay more for pants without pockets. What's with that?
Yeah.
God.
Don't give me no pockets. That's so annoying.
I mean, I saw someone, I don't remember who it was, but they said it's just because men won't put up with it. The majority of men won't put up with paying that much for clothes. That's just it. Because even for women...
How does that impact pockets? I don't get it. Why can't we have pockets?
It's because they think you want to look ladylike, so they don't want to put pockets in because they poof you.
No, it's not. It's not. Because, it's because it's hard to put pockets that look good on certain cuts of pants.
I actually read somewhere that the reason why women's pants don't have pockets is so that they can convince women to buy purses.
Just FYI, every pair of trousers and pants and whatever jeans I have has pockets. I have skirts with pockets.
Yep.
I cannot find stuff with pockets in it to save my life. I find pants that have pockets sewn shut or like fake pockets. That's usually what you find here.
Fake pockets piss me off so much.
Just the rage.
Yeah, just don't put them on there. Don't trick me with your fucking pockets.
Or like the ones that get sewn shut, those are the most irritating ones. It's like, why did you waste the time and effort to even sew it shut? Why?
Yeah,
that's so they look good on the hanger.
Yeah, but you can just cut. You can just cut that and you can use it. But they do that on jackets for men's suits. So it's not.
Yeah, it's so that they hang flat on the hanger.
Yeah, it's just so they look good. Sometimes they even sew the two flaps at the back of a jacket. They're just sewn, and you have to cut them off. It's just because of how it looks on the mannequin, and the whole point is to get you to buy them because they look good. So,
right,
yeah,
and they don't look so good once you put shit in their pockets.
Obviously.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. There are assholes in the world that would just fill mannequins' pockets full of things, just random.
Oh,
junk.
I would put stuff in mannequin pockets. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That sounds like something I do too. But like, and put this here, and put this.
I guess I'm gonna go get arrested at the JCPenney outlet today.
Yes, skirt with pockets. I have at least 3 different ones that have pockets.
Oh man,
I have a dress that has a bullshit pocket that can't hold anything in it, and it makes me so angry.
I want to dress.
Like, it's just for looks, and I'm like I hate you.
If you want, I can show you. I don't have a problem with that. They're like comfortable, large pockets. They're nice, and they're not the most sporty of skirts. All of them, they're really not. But they just have pockets. I used to have dresses with pockets too, but then I lost a ton of weight and gave them away because nobody was wearing them anymore. But yeah, no. I don't have a problem with that. If I want to find stuff with pockets, I will.
Oh man, it's so hard to find pockets and stuff here.
I have a jumpsuit.
Like these things. That's all.
Like I have a jumpsuit that's kind of on the business casual side. It has pockets.
I gotta go shopping in Romania apparently.
No, I got that. I got that from ASOS in the UK, so it's not Romanian.
Okay. Gotta go to the UK then, apparently.
Or just order it. It's fine.
Yeah, go to a different country because Canada and the United States can't figure out their shit with their pockets, apparently.
No, and here's the thing. My vagina is not related to the fact that I carry things with me.
That was just an interesting way to show that.
The fact that I need to have lip gloss on me. Why are those related? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I need a lip gloss, goddammit. I just need to stick it in my pocket.
When it comes to fashion and clothes design, I think in most cases it's a reactionary thing and not something that sets the trends. Like if women want something and keep looking for that thing will pop up everywhere. And most women want their trousers to look good because they already have a nice bag that they want to show off and they'll stick everything in that. That's the reality of it.
I guess I'm just weird, maybe.
Yeah, there are exceptions to everything, but when you think of the majority and what they demand, that's what the market will provide because...
It seems pretty consistent that people want pockets, though. I feel like that's the thing I hear consistently.
That's why they get jeans with pockets. I've never heard of this being a problem. Like, honestly.
That is definitely a problem here.
Yeah, like jeans, I don't have a problem with, but any other, like any dress pants, anything like that. I cannot
find jeans to save my life with pockets.
That's just the Canada problem, Trynda. Just move.
Yeah.
Just move.
Because how are you supposed to hunt a moose if you don't have a single pocket?
Well, in theory, you have like a winter parka that like you can barely see out of, and that
probably
has
have 40
like 30
pockets.
pockets. Yeah, that has like a bazillion pockets in it.
Yeah, true. I would like one of those.
What?
That would make my winters way better. But I want one that goes like from here to the top of my toes. So that would be perfect. Like wrap me up.
Yeah, I'm too tall for that to exist for me.
And
they make some that are for tall people.
Yeah, they always go to my shin.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I want like an
probably
ankle
would.
length coat, and they're like, well, it goes to your shin. That's close enough. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah. So back to books, people, because we were
I was
talking
just thinking-
books.
Whoa, that was a tangent.
And I like that we get questions about fashion in the chat when we talk when we're talking about reading. It makes sense with this chat. It just makes sense.
Why
It
not?
totally makes sense. How's your reading habit now compared to when you were kids? I mean, how has it changed?
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
I used to read so much, and now it's like, man, all my time is just down the drain.
Yeah, I have so much other stuff to do.
I used to be really good at it. I'd skip on watching TV and stuff and read before bed, and that would be fine. And then I changed my schedule so that I'd incorporate audiobooks when I walk the dog and when I do grocery shopping and stuff like that. And then I broke my tablet and I realized what a fussy reader I've become, because I didn't used to care as much before.
Yeah.
And now, like, I need my backlight because I don't want to have the big light over top open like all night long and fall asleep with it like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm fine
like,
falling in love, falling in love, falling asleep with my tablet on my face.
Right. Like, you laid down so you would fall asleep reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't want to get up and turn the light off.
Yeah. And the problem with
I once
yeah, go ahead.
almost broke my nose doing that. I was studying we were going to write an exam on calculus, and the book was like, I think if I threw it at someone, if I had the strength to actually throw it at someone, I would actually kill that person.
Oh wow.
Like, I think it probably weighed like 10 kgs or something, and 2,000 pages thick, and it's thick pages. Anyway, so I was studying, and I'm already so freaking tired because I was like sleeping. I had to study. I already woke up like at 3 a.m. and the exam was at like 8 or something. Tired. I don't want to sit up anymore because if I sit up, I'm going to read, and then I obviously won't because I have to hold the book up, so I obviously won't fall asleep. Well, I did. So I fell asleep and I woke up with a very mean like in my face because of this like 10 kg book falling on my face. And the lucky thing was it exactly fell so that the spine fell over my nose. So but if it was a little bit like this, I would probably have broken my nose. So I never again.
I've dropped my phone on my face in bed though.
Oh god.
Yep.
It's man, and you feel stupid and it hurts. Like so you also don't really want to complain too much about it because you feel like an idiot.
It's like that moment where you like pick your phone up and you look around to see if anyone saw you. It's like, oh
Yeah. That's I didn't just do that.
Oh god.
it's not nothing.
I don't do that often, but I trip and drop things like all the time. I can't do anything without tripping. And the most fascinating thing is that I got this dog like 5 years ago, and very soon after I realized we were very much alike. He trips over himself. At some point, he was running in the doggy park. He was like 6 months old or something. And I don't know how he turned, but he slammed into a tree really badly. And at least once a day, he trips going down the stairs because he's too excited to watch where he's going.
Yeah, Dreamer does this thing, and I'm also not graceful, but she does this thing where she goes to jump on me, and she goes like, ah! And then she doesn't come close. And I'm just like, oh, honey. I'm like, oh, this is I'm contagious. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Oh. You know what though? If I was graceful, I wouldn't be a damn writer.
Yeah.
Be a dancer or something.
I don't know. I feel like there are people more graceful than us that can still write.
Yeah, but if I was more graceful, I'd probably enjoy different things.
Maybe.
I used to play sports, and then it became obvious why I shouldn't. So, but I'm a 6 foot tall girl, so you don't have many choices. Like, people are like, "You're gonna play volleyball and basketball," and I'm like, I'm kind of afraid of balls. Like,
oh my God.
You throw it at me, and I'm certain it's gonna hit me in the face, and like it comes flying at me from the other side of the net, and it's gonna kill me. And then I busted. I was playing volleyball in gym class and tore my ACL. And the gym teacher was like, "You're never going to play in gym class again." And I was like, how did I not know I could do this by just busting my knee once?
Oh, God.
And then I got fat. So, presto change.
My problem was that I was too short for almost everything.
Yeah.
I was just too short. Like, oh, you want to play basketball? I was playing once with friends, and I was just face to face with this guy who was twice my size, twice my height, and I was just trying to block him. And the reason why that worked is because everybody was laughing so hard. They're like, "What the fuck is she doing? What?" I mean, I looked like a small dog barking at the cat that was up a tree. That's how I looked. That's how I looked. So it was absolutely fantastic. And that's how I learned you can do anything you want in life unless you're too short for it. Pretty much.
Basically.
Oh, you want to be in the army? No. Oh, you want to go to the police academy? No. Get out.
You want to go on a carnival ride? No.
I have that problem myself,
I'm tall enough
actually.
for that. I'm tall enough for carnival rides. Yay. Because that's like 140.
About 15 years ago, I went on this ride called the Zipper. It's like a tube that spins around on 2 separate ends. I got a concussion because I'm too tall for the Zipper. I hit my head on the other side of the cage over and over again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've heard so many bad things about that ride. I don't want to go anywhere near that thing.
And like, I get motion sick all the time. Like, if I look at the ocean from the shore, I get motion sick. I did not get motion sick at all on the Zipper. I, however, was vomiting because I had broken my brain. I had like an interior brain bleed. But whatever. It's just minor.
Oh, God.
I seem to be okay now.
The weirdest memory I have about this carnival ride was I was at the seaside, I think. I can't remember where it was, but you got into this space rocket and you were supposed to take your seat, and then a movie would start and there was a voiceover and they were like, "Fasten your seatbelts." And I spent half the ride looking for a fucking seatbelt.
Oh no!
And there wasn't one. And I was terrified because they kept moving the ship just to give you the sensation that stuff was going on. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die because I don't have a seatbelt. And it was too dark to see that no one had a freaking seatbelt anyway.
Right, so you're over there thinking you're the only one who doesn't have one.
Yep. Yep, pretty much. That's what I did. I was kind of young from what I remember, but still it was so frustrating because there was this really cool animation that I can barely remember. And I'm so sorry I can't because it was so good. And instead of focusing on that stupid animation they were playing, I was looking for my seatbelt.
It was probably a lot of fun for those people who actually got to experience it.
Yeah.
It was fun for me too when I realized that fuck it, I'm not gonna die anyway.
You just had less time to enjoy it than everyone else.
Pretty much. That was it.
And people left there like, did you see that lady who looked for her seatbelt the whole time?
I was a kid. I don't think they referred to me as a lady.
Okay, then they probably didn't notice.
They probably thought something like "dumb kid," too short for her seat, and she couldn't find something, and she kept fussing about and distracting me.
Right.
Oh God, that was. But my favorite ride, like we didn't have something permanent, but around Christmas there was like a special carnival thing in the center of the city, and they had this one ride that was a huge octopus, and each of the tentacles had like 4 little cars.
Yeah, it's like the scrambler here. They call it the octopus or the scrambler.
Yeah, and it spins around and then it lifted up and down, and oh my God, it always made me sick, but I loved it to bits. Like, it was amazing.
That's when I found out I had crossed the threshold between like that exciting nausea that you get as a kid on rides and the adult nausea you get where you throw up. Was that ride. I got off of it and I was like, oh, I can't ride these anymore. Like, yep, this is the last time for this. And then I was sick for like 4 hours. Like, oh, things have changed.
Oh God. The only part of Buddhism that I find really funny and interesting is Zen Buddhism, because I think Zen masters were like legit trolls. Like, they like trolling their disciples in the worst way possible. Like, they were calling them idiots to their faces, and it was fine. So,
see you later,
bye,
Jazz.
Jasmine. Have fun.
Yeah, Buddhism's kind of interesting, and it's to learn about. I don't know. It's
yeah.
I don't know enough about it to accurately say much, but it's interesting to this level.
But I think it's I don't remember it. No, it's not Buddhism. It's Hinduism, where they describe the sleeping god that dreams the world, which to me is fascinating, because there are theories according to which we're nothing but the projection of someone's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a good chance that we are that and we'd never know it. And it's just someone who's in a sleeping state and just dreams up all our lives, because otherwise, if they wouldn't dream like 10 million lives, they'd be completely bored. And it probably takes them about a few seconds for an entire century, which I think is absolutely interesting as a theory.
Mm-hmm. It's like the whole computer simulation idea too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird. That one's weird when you start looking into it. Like the whole idea of falling through steps and stuff. That's
oh God,
crazy shit.
Yeah, I used to have dreams where I would go down the stairs and I just float but fall at the same time, but it was never bad, but I always feared it would be bad and I'd get hurt. That's the weirdest dream ever. Like, ugh. That happening in real life, I just sit down and think I'm going insane.
I used to dream that I would fall down the stairs, and then the next day I would fall down the stairs. I might have fallen down the stairs a lot of times, though, so it might have been a coincidence, but...
Stress dreams about falling downstairs.
Yeah, I'd wake up, like, with, that moment that you know you're falling. Like, I would wake up with that feeling, and then, like, 4 hours later, I'd fall down the damn stairs, and I'm like, oh!
It was a warning!
Yeah, I'm like, God, I had no idea that I was getting, like, premonitions.
Yeah, those.
There are worse things that you could get omens for,
Well, yeah, I'm anti-omen. I just want things to happen and surprise me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same. Everyone's like, no, let's go see our future. I'm like, oh, I want to know.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to know the future, but it would be fun going back in time, knowing everything I know and doing it all over again. That would be fascinating.
No. I actually had a chat with someone about this actually today. I wouldn't, because I would be absolutely horrified if I had like a freaking head cold in 16th century England. I would I'm here. Here's a lead.
No. Go back in time, like, return to age 3, knowing everything I know now. Something like that.
Would be a bit weird.
It would be fun, though.
It would be cool to go back in time, but I was also thinking like a holodeck kind of thing, like on Star Trek. You could just
that'd be so much fun.
have like a simulation of going back in time, and they don't have to worry about like
in my house,
screwing up shit.
Yeah, it's quite possible we'd never leave the house if we had one.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, I'm not sure.
I feel like I'd still go outside because I like being outside.
Yeah.
But you
like
could
the
turn
fresh
your
air.
holodeck outside.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean.
So like,
yeah,
why
that's
would
true.
you?
Yeah. I don't need to see you people.
And you can set it so that like even the meat animals can't hurt you. Like you get to make those settings on your holodeck. I might know way more than I should about a holodeck.
I'm just thinking right now. It's like, yeah, you totally do have like food and like drinks and like an entire environment in there. So yeah, no, you would never have to leave. You'd be set.
You could like program in your favorite author and go have dinner with them.
Yeah. A holodeck is
Like, no
legit
matter how
the
long
answer to all problems.
Yeah.
If I could program an author into a holodeck, I would program George R.R. Martin and then get myself a whip and then chain him to a desk and then go, right, bitch, right.
Focus, man. Focus.
I'd be like, you want to play with something else? Fuck off, right? I've been waiting so long.
And then you could tape it and put it on YouTube and make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because everybody would love to see that.
Yeah. Pretty much. I remember we were researching trailers and I saw the trailer for his previous book. And it started with, you've waited for 6 years. And my boyfriend was like, yeah. And on the next book, it would be like, you've waited all your life. The only reason George R.R. Martin is still alive is to finish this book.
There is a video on YouTube of Stephen King and George R.R. Martin talking, and the cutest thing that happens the whole time is George R.R. Martin looks at Stephen King and is like, "How do you write so damn much?"
Yeah, I
just
remember
like,
watching that. That's a
this is
great.
what we're all wondering, George R.R. Martin. How come he does it and you don't? We all want to know. Get your book out, damn it.
I shouldn't comment on that because I tried Stephen King once and didn't take, so I don't know. I think I should try something else, but
yeah, what did you try?
I can't remember. It's the weirdest thing, because I've been talking to people about so many of his books that at this point I don't remember which I tried and which I talked to people about. Which is freaking insane, but this was a long time ago, and I just can't remember because it's been an ongoing conversation about how I should read Stephen King or just don't bother, because people have really strong opinions, and I'm like, I will try again at some point, but I really need to be in the mood for it and have nothing else distracting me because I remember not liking it. It felt too descriptive. I don't know. I got bored, something like that. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I fucking hate Anne Rice, and apparently I'm the only person who feels that way.
I love Anne Rice.
Nope.
You should have the right to feel whatever.
Yeah, no,
you
but
want.
I mean, like, it's just sometimes things don't click. Like, everyone else on the planet seems to love her. I hate her.
It depends on what you're reading too, because some of her stuff is a little bit not like her other stuff, like her vampire stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, right, you're gonna get a different thing from the Sleeping Beauty novels than like the Vampire Chronicles or.
They're real different, and if you're thinking they're gonna be the same, you're gonna be in for a bumpy ride.
I remember when the interview came out, the movie. People got real like, I'm a huge Anne Rice fan, and you knew by looking at them and listening to them that they really hadn't actually read any. But like, I was in high school at the time, and every once in a while, some girl would be like, I went and picked up this Anne Rice book, and I'd look at it and I'd go, that's erotica, right? And they're like, well, it's about Sleeping Beauty, and I'm like, no.
Ooh, I mean,
I'm like, no, that's erotica. That's a different thing.
It's kind of about Sleeping Beauty, at the very,
Right.
very tippy top.
Right, but this isn't, it's not Disney. Not even a little.
Oh my God.
And you're like 14, so you might want to just be a little wary.
I mean, didn't she write like super religious stuff at some point in her life?
She took this, she took this turn a couple years back where she went like crazy Catholic, and then all of a sudden she was like, nah, fuck that.
It's the crazy Catholic stuff that's not super great. Everything else is great, but it's like the Catholic stuff is like, this is not as top notch as the other stuff. I would even say like the Sleeping Beauty stuff is a step down from her vampire stuff. Not like the content, just like the readability of it. Like it just doesn't feel as well edited even. It would be,
and
I'd say.
I hear the stories are okay, but it's definitely not the same thing. Like you really need to know what you're signing up for before you sign up.
Yeah, that is definitely a big thing with that series.
Well, and I think that's
a new one, but I just can't bring myself to do it yet.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of indie authors are doing different names for different genres, because that's really shocking to someone if they're like, I like vampire books and there's going to be a little bit of sex in this, you know, because it's a vampire book or whatever, and that does happen. But you know, I'm going to go grab the Sleeping Beauty books and it'll probably be the same vein, and they get in there and they're like, oh, whoa, this is like full on erotica.
Way over my head.
Right, and their whole like opinion of it is so stupid.
Just FYI, there's no real sex in the vampire books.
Yeah.
No, but there's sexuality and there's implied stuff.
There's a lot of implied stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've read most of them.
The best way to describe it is like classic vampire sex. Like the whole idea of vampires is like the biting in the neck and the romance and
and just that underlying sexuality that goes with just being that intimate with someone.
It's not in your face the same way that urban fantasy vampires are.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think, I mean, to me,
it's almost all gothic thing.
Yeah. It is. But I never got it. Like, you use blood to power up your body, and the only section of your body it doesn't power up is your dick.
Right.
Why?
Well, I think she did explain that at some point, and I can't remember what it was. Something to do with like the way the soul is in the bodies or something. There's a specific reason it doesn't work that way for her.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
I can't remember what it is, but there's there's a reason.
I mean, there's blood running through their veins. If there's blood running through their blood vessels, it runs through all of them. They're not clogged. I mean, there's not clogs in the blood. No, there's a certain region of your body that's just not going to happen.
No, there was some explanation of how the blood didn't actually run through their vessels the same way it does ours because they're consuming it or something.
Yeah,
sure.
It was a pretty in-depth explanation, but I don't remember it clearly.
Yeah, I can't remember it either. There's a reason.
Yeah, I'm glad it's a reason. I just never bought it. It was like...
Yeah, no, and...
If it's because they consume it, if they really wanted to have sex, they just drink more blood until it reaches everywhere, so that's fine.
Right. Well, and the thing is that I think our recent acceptance of LGBTQ communities also should make us understand that you don't need a penis and a vagina for sexuality to occur.
Yeah. It happens on all sorts of different levels.
Right. So, even if your penis doesn't work, that doesn't mean that you can have no sexual conduct.
Yeah, no.
You know,
that's
so, but,
true.
I think we don't. They didn't talk about that a lot, but there could definitely still be real sexual relationships that just don't involve a penis.
Yeah, exactly. In an emotional relationship. Like, I know people have something not akin to that, but I don't know how to say it.
Well, people who are in a relationship that is exclusively through the internet, I fully believe those people have those emotions. They fully feel those emotions, but there's no physical contact.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, but I feel like it's still a valid relationship.
So it happens. You're still attracted to that other person and stuff.
I have to say something here. Yeah, it's a valid relationship, but if you're going to engage in a relationship over the internet, make sure you see that person.
Well,
hear their voice, and oh my God, there are
see their face.
We had
a person.
We had a case in the LGBTQ fiction community. Again, I mean, like, I feel like every year around this time of year, another catfisher is exposed. And
yeah, catfishing stories make me cry. I feel so bad for people.
I do feel bad for people, but on the other hand, I do not understand. You never had a video call with this person.
Mm-hmm.
How can you say you're in a relationship with them? You've never talked for real.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
not even sure they're a man at this point.
Yeah, you really have no idea who the person on the other side is. Like,
yeah, no.
My boyfriend and I in the States, we saw each other face to face all the time. So like, we knew who each other were. And even then, I went and saw him, and he saw, like, we traveled and saw each other too.
Yeah,
right.
That makes perfect sense. That's a valid relationship. But the battle. Oh God, I can't words. Yay.
Words.
the other drinking game. Like, every time I say it's fine, I'm fine, everything's going to be fine, and whenever I say I can't words, everybody drinks.
Yeah, I think I'm fine needs to be beer, and I can't words can be hard liquor.
Yeah, okay.
You say I can't words a little less, so I think we'll be safer if we do it that way.
Yeah.
We're just slowly coming up with the rules of our drinking game as your catchphrase is kept on.
Yep. And I thought of another one. Every time Alice interrupts, you guys drink. That can be hard liquor too, because he doesn't interrupt as often. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Now he's busy sleeping if he's sleeping in a corner, it's fine.
Yeah,
for the live streams, they can also add on every time I almost eat Dreamer's Tail accidentally.
Yeah.
That happens 4 or 5 times a stream.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a freaking good one.
Our pets are exceptionally nosy sometimes, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh well. So what I wanted to say about reading is that the more I write, the more I make a point out of reading across genres and consuming different types of media. Mm-hmm. I don't think I was so aware before. I just read what I wanted, but now I'm pushing myself to make sure I have a balanced reading diet. That I get a bit of nonfiction and all kinds of fiction, and that I don't get stuck into a smaller genre, let's say. Mm-hmm. I find that helps a lot. It just boosts my creativity and I get more ideas.
Yeah, I definitely noticed I've been more conscious about diversifying what I'm reading, opposed to when I just read what I wanted to. Be like, yeah, whatever, I feel like reading this and this and this. But now it's more in line with my works in progress and what I want to learn from, I guess. Mm.
Oh, Tim, if that's the case, like, good luck being a Buddhist monk. I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry, it's the only thing I do would become a Zen master's apprentice, but that's just...
You just want to be a big troll.
Yeah, I want them to troll me so that then I can troll other people. I think it's just fun.
I only believe in Bigfoot. That's it.
We already know that.
I'm on to him.
I think even in spirituality, I take I'm eclectic and I take concepts that suit me from everywhere, and because to me, like, if everybody would live based on one rule, which I never know exactly how it sounds, but the basic thing is, if you don't like it, don't do it to other people.
Yeah, the golden rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
That one. I never know it. I mean, I never know it in Romanian either. It's okay. because we have a rhyme in Romanian that explains the exact same saying, and I immediately go to that.
Right.
So
to others, yeah.
I just get that rhyme in my head, and it's stuck there. And it's the basic of it is, if you don't like it, maybe nobody would if you did it.
Right.
It's like the basic rule we have. Do you like being murdered? No, don't murder people. Do you like people stealing shit from you? No, then don't steal other people's shit. It's so easy.
Right.
Do you like people treating you like assholes? No, then don't do it to them. So it's all good, Adam. We're used to lags. Like it happens to us while we're talking to each other, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're in 4 different freaking countries too. So I mean, that's gonna happen.
Yeah. We're on 3 different continents.
Yeah.
Just fun fact.
Several different time zones.
Right. Yeah, there's gonna be some lag sometimes. It'll just happen.
So what was I saying? I forgot. Oh yeah, spirituality. So I think if we all abided by that simple rule, everything would be fine in the world.
Yeah, I think so. Just
like that would fix all the problems in the world. Like, would you like to be thrown off a building and die? No, don't throw off gay people off buildings then. It's fine by me.
I think sometimes the problem isn't that people don't know that, it's that people don't bother to think about it. Like they don't bother to think about how this might make the other person feel because they're so busy doing what they want to do. Right.
Yeah, people need to slow down and not be so quick to take how they're feeling out on other people. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Have a little bit of self-reflection and understand why you're feeling those feelings of anger and hate, and realize that anger and hate is the path to the darkness, and you don't want to fucking go over there because they don't got cookies.
Haven't these people heard of Yoda?
Yeah, they don't got cookies over there, guys.
No, that's a lie.
Yeah,
that's internet bullshit. Don't buy it.
That's how the Sith work. They lie.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
They don't have cookies.
They make it sound so good. And
now I will step back and pretend I don't see my red backlit keyboard or the fact that my computer is called Darth Ira. We won't talk about that.
That's like my friend. My friend has a daughter who thinks that Darth Vader is her best friend. And when they went and saw not this past movie but the movie before, there's just a moment where Darth Vader's in it and he shows up and they're in a full theater and she screams, "It's my best friend!"
Oh, that's great. I'm not gonna lie, I got a thing for Adam Driver. He's kind of dreamy. I like him. Kylo Ren. I'm liking him.
Oh, you're one of those.
I don't like the guy.
I can't say shit because I think the highest level of human achievement is the Funko Pop of Jeff Goldblum with no shirt on from Jurassic Park. So I won't say a word.
I'm enjoying the internet with Adam Driver right now and Swallow.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan.
No.
No, I don't find him attractive. I
think he does fine in the movie, but I don't find him attractive.
Something about his nose, I just love it. I can't help myself. I don't know what it is either, but it's like there's something about him. I like his face.
He's like super like. He's super I don't know what the word is. Like people are one or the other. Like they either really don't like him or they really find him very attractive.
Yeah, he's very
I'm like he
there you go,
says nothing to me. Like to me he says nothing. I'm like meh.
I think maybe he reminds me of one of my characters, and that might be what it is.
Yeah,
probably.
Clicking into that little like soft spot.
So I don't know who that is, Adam. I'll have to Google that.
I just looked him up. He's an Irish actor. I've never heard of him.
He's in the
Force Awakens, so apparently I should know who he is, but I don't.
I'm so bad with names. Let me look him up because I probably know his face.
Who the hell does he play in The Force Awakens? I don't see.
Oh yeah, I like him. He plays what's his name?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, general or whatever. What's why can't I remember his name?
I remember now. I saw a photo of him without
I loved his his character
General
portrayal.
Hux.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that
Hux.
one.
I loved him in the newest one. I don't care what people say. I love the humor.
I haven't actually seen the newest one yet.
Oh, I love
Me
the new
neither.
one. I couldn't help it.
I mean, I
I don't like
enjoyed
movie
it.
theaters very much. So that's the only reason I haven't seen it.
No, I enjoyed it. I didn't like completely thought it was the best thing ever. Like, no.
There's definitely flaws with it, like shortcomings with the story and like weird things, but I feel like this one's setting up a lot for the next one,
Yeah, true.
and that
But
more is
I
going
don't
to be
know.
explained in the next one. But yeah,
some of it felt like completely pointless. Like some of the side stories didn't push the plot forward. They did nothing.
yeah,
They just went away for a while to have an adventure that doesn't impact anything.
didn't help, didn't do anything. Yeah,
But it was an entertaining movie. I enjoyed it. I don't regret I went to see it like on the first week it aired here or something like that. Hi, Amy. Hi. I just saw her now.
I saw Sarah saying hi. I'm like,
if you want to join us live, let me know, Amy. I'll send you the link. No problem. We're talking about reading, apparently.
Ice. I would pay for Star Wars on Ice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd go
Hands
to
down. Shut up and take my money.
Like, I love figure skating. I just love it. I think it's the most gracious thing ever.
And I can't wait for the song. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Me too.
Oh, I can't wait for the song of Darth Vader singing about how he lost his love and his twins, and as he skates around in blue lighting.
Oh God. Okay, I'm not excited about it anyway.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
No worries, Amy. No worries, Amy. I'm not going to say it because then everybody has to drink, but we all know it. Yeah. Okay. We'll be here. We'll hear it. No, I give up.
Words are hard. Words are hard.
So I wanted to say we're here every Saturday. So Imperial Slide, good one, Adam. Good one.
If that doesn't exist on the internet, I don't know what the internet's doing.
Oh my God, I'm sure it exists somewhere, and if it doesn't, it needs to.
Yeah.
Oh God. Speaking of reading, my boyfriend likes to tell me about weird stuff he reads, and he read a sort of a visual novel thing that's called Doki Doki Literature Club, and that's the most.
I've seen it. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Oh God, yes. And there's this meme, and the title is "Photographer takes snapshots of girls before and after telling them I love you."
Right.
And the meme is that one is shy, the other one is embarrassed, the other one is super happy, and the fourth one hangs herself. Because that's how you react to being told somebody loves you. You go hang yourself.
Yeah, sometimes the internet goes to weird places.
I know this happens. This happens in the visual novel, and that's why they made the meme.
Yeah, that's
It's the actual reaction in the visual novel. Some things are weird and completely fucked up.
I don't want to spoil it, but that's not exactly what happened in the visual novel. But
yeah.
Yeah, no, the girl who, if you're really interested in the Doki Doki Literature Club, I'm going to spoil it right now. The girl who doesn't disappear and kill herself through the story is actually part of the game. Like, your game files change while you're playing it.
No, I know that, but it's an actual
the implication at the end is that she actually killed all of those girls. None of them killed themselves. That she was taking them out because she wants all of your attention.
Yeah, but I think
when you tell them,
no, the game glitches when the girl kills herself, and then when it reloads, there's information in the file that says she's so much trouble that I just deleted her entirely. But that doesn't exactly say she didn't do what she did.
Well, but she does it with all of them, and at the very end of the game, she basically says that she's been deleting them because she wants your attention rather than them to have it.
Yeah, but you know, there's a possibility that you get trapped with the one that committed suicide over the weekend or something, and you can't.
Oh, really?
Move. Yeah. It's the weirdest game ever. I might be getting details. It might not be the same character that's dead over the weekend in the school. That might be it, because I was trying so hard to tune it out because it felt so dark.
Well, and I think it's much more like a choose your own adventure kind of thing, where your reactions really do matter. So
Yes.
it's possible that you just saw a different playthrough than I saw,
Yeah.
and so the outcome's different.
I
love
mean,
games like
it's
that.
it's a visual novel, so in theory, all your choices impact the story. But you can
Right.
play through again and again. But this doesn't work like a normal visual novel, because it doesn't just like let you restart stuff. I mean, it changes all your files.
Yeah.
There's a way to go around that, obviously. You can just delete a file and it restores the main game. But yeah, I found it's interesting but dark. And speaking of dark, I don't know about you, but I like my dark reads. And they're
Yeah, me
like
too.
tragedy.
I do too. Yeah, I'm a big fan of dark things.
I'm a mood reader. Like, if I need things that, no matter how angsty they get, I know they have a happy ending, I'll read that. But sometimes the really tragic endings stay with me a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, since I like horror, I end up with a lot of less than solid endings. And I'm fine with those. Those don't bother me at all. But that tends to be pretty common in horror.
Yeah, it's one thing I don't like. I mean, tragic endings are tragic endings. But when there's a story of an evil entity that wins in the end, that bothers me. That annoys me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it feels kind of like a cop-out almost. Sorta.
No, it's just, I mean, it happens. Sometimes the bad guys win, but I just don't like it. When it's something
Yeah, I think it's hard to connect with someone through a whole thing and then find out that they failed.
Yeah, maybe it's that. But for example, I like all the detective police kind of investigation shows, and I love Criminal Minds, for example. But the reason why I like Criminal Minds so much is because they catch most of the bad guys. I don't know, it gives me hope and the feeling of safety. Says the girl from the country where there was maybe one serial rapist and killer ever that we know of. But
We'll send you some of ours. We have extras.
No, thank you.
Canada's got lots too. We'll just send them all over on a
No,
a
thank
boat.
you.
Yep. I hate to interrupt, but I gotta get going, guys.
It's all good. We knew you were going to leave early.
Have a good rest of your stream. Thank you.
Fun. Bye.
See ya.
And then there were 3.
Dun dun dun.
Oh my god.
It's really scary how we think alike.
Well, it's like the mood it's set for us, so. Amy, if your Yakuza series has a tragic ending, I'm going to buy a ticket, go all the way to the States, and kick your ass. Like, those books are dark, man. I'll read through all of that. I'll read through all of that thing because it's amazing, and I still hope for a happy ending. If there's no happy ending, I'm coming over there and kicking your ass. I'm sorry.
Amy's going to have to get into witness protection because there's a tiny, angry Romanian after her.
Thank you for that.
She'll have people like, is that a gnome? And she'll be like, no, it's not a gnome, run!
I will wear my gnome hat so that I'm properly disguised.
Confused,
right? Pay no attention, I'm just watching this yard.
Too bad I had it on the D&D stream and people know my gnome cat. No, gnome cat God damn it, words! What's wrong with me? Oh, yeah. It's from all the editing. It took all my wording power. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the same with me. That's why I'm so quiet tonight.
No, I had this amazing plan of being done with all the editing and writing by the end of the day on Friday, so that I could actually have a free weekend. I failed miserably, not for lack of trying. Oh, so it would be like a mob thing. Would chase you in the forest with pitches and with forks and stuff.
Good thing she's been studying mobs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but she studied them in Japan, so
Right.
She doesn't get these ones.
She's not ready for an angry Romanian, like, trust me.
I'm actually also I have no hope of finishing like within this next month. I set my goal to get through revisions like, but the book is like 250,000 words long, so I'm like,
oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
absolutely good luck with that.
Like I've made my people wait like for 3 years already, so it has to finish this year.
Yeah, they'll murder you in your sleep if you don't hurry up.
That's like George R.R. Martin kind of style crap now. I'm just trying not to do the whole full, except for the part where I don't make George R.R. Martin style money from my writing yet.
Yeah.
When people ask you about it, you should just send them pictures of George R.R. Martin. When they're like, "When's it coming out?" Just send them a picture.
Yes. No,
yeah, I think
the funny thing is, like, actually, people are writing. I watched some of Brady's books because
I think I think you're cutting off a bit.
Yeah.
I just didn't catch any of that. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I tried, but it just...
It's probably the spotty on my side.
Yeah, maybe, or it's because we're from 3 different continents at this point, so that might put a bit of stress on Hangouts. I don't know. It's the best we've got. Amy, a mob of angry writers is a dangerous thing because they can come up with really inventive ways to hurt you. I don't dismiss them.
Yes.
I wouldn't. Oh, I read a book recently called Relentless, and it was by Dean Koontz, and the plot was that this writer gets a bad review, and because he interacts with the reviewer in a restaurant, the reviewer tries to murder him and his entire family. That was interesting. That was an interesting
story. That happens to me like 3 times a week.
Sorry?
That happens to me like 3 times a week.
And you survived it without going in. No, I can't say that. I don't want to spoil another book. I do not want to spoil another book. I'm going to shut up now. Read the book. It's fun. But I wanted to ask you guys this. Is there a certain genre that you've loved your entire life and still read with a lot of pleasure? Sarah, I'm guessing horror.
Yeah, I grew up on that.
And other than that? Any lifelong loves?
I don't know that there are. Yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot else that has stuck with me a long time. Partly just because like I just have always just kind of read whatever was available, and my parents weren't big readers, so for a long time it was just like whatever books were in our house that they had left over from when they did read.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so.
Misha?
Yeah, I've also my own very eclectic reader, so finally having it on like bucket list now already. I finally read Jane Eyre, finished it.
Oh,
but,
nice.
Like I'd go from that and something like fantasy next or a mystery. But the thing is, I've actually found to write seriously established my life, seriously, and also starting to act seriously. I work as an extra on stuff. That I actually don't have a lot of magic in stories anymore because I know what goes into them.
Okay.
I do read, but there's no longer that, oh my goodness, I'm living in the story kind of thing anymore, because I switch off that little brain part of my brain saying, well, they don't really hook the reader. Ooh, not really strong conflict here. Ooh, not really big on character consistency, that kind of thing. It just through my brain, though, like something mystery. And
yeah, no, I get that, but I only do that with books I don't enjoy. Like, if I enjoy a book, I just get lost in it. I don't start to critique it. But if I dislike the book, then I'll do a lot of that.
I can basically even when I was reading, because Jane Eyre is actually, I don't know if you guys have, but it's like, even then, there's this part of me that instead of just living into the story, there's still my brain is going, good grief, she did this well. Things she put together. So there's always at a distance, like, so it ruins the experience for me a lot sometimes, especially when I'm editing, because then I have to turn the editing brain on for when I'm editing, and then I struggle to turn it back off. I am writing and rough drafting. That's not so bad.
Yeah, no.
When editing, it's almost impossible.
I rarely, if ever, had that problem. I don't know why. It's just like, if I enjoy the story, I get lost in it. But I've always tried to read across genres. Maybe I do it more now, I don't know. But I always try to read everything. The genres that stuck with me a lot were sci-fi. And I read my first sci-fi when I was like 9 or 10. And it was I, Robot. Because it was way easier to find Russian literature in Romania already translated than anything else.
Yeah.
Communism. Communism, thank you very much. Yeah. At least Isaac Asimov was great, so there's that. Yeah, it was a good start. And throughout my life, I heavily enjoyed science fiction, and I like it when it's hard science fiction. I do like space opera and everything else too, but science fiction was one of those things that stuck with me a lot. And then when I discovered fantasy in all its forms, that stuck. That really stuck. Because I remember growing up with Agatha Christie and other detective stories, and I do have moments when I go back to them. Recently, I've started reading mystery again, but it wasn't a constant, whereas sci-fi was from the moment I discovered it until now.
Yeah.
That might be because I want to turn into a immortal cyborg, so
right.
It makes
so it's nice
sense.
To live in that world.
It makes sense that I would like to know what I'm gearing up for, but yeah, sci-fi, man, all the way. And
with 3 Musketeers, and the next thing I did was the complete works of Arthur Conan Doyle. After that, so it kind of jumped literally and committed to any single genre. But I have to say, I only really started reading fantasy when I was in high school.
Yeah, same here. It wasn't a big thing here. Because
in South Africa also, I think South Africa, like most of our famous writers are like so it's like Alan Paton and more high-flung literary work. And I get it. So there's not really a genre culture so much in our country, from what I found.
No, here either, and they were limited in what they could translate during the communist era, and post-communism, there was this cycle a movie would come out, like Interview with a Vampire. Yeah. And then they translate all Anne Rice books. Because people would buy that. And then another movie would pop out, and then they translate all the books. I think Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings became big things in Romania after the movies. Yeah. For example. And that happens a lot. There's a lot that's not translated. I'm not sure you can find Brandon Sanderson, all of it here. There might be some, but not all.
Yeah.
For Romanian writers, I know some tried, and they were quite successful, but it was like middle grade fantasy, which I'm not that much into. But yeah, there's no real genre culture outside crime and detective stories and mystery. That's solid in Romania, but other than that, not a lot of genre fiction, unless it's a translation.
Yes.
So that might help.
Yeah, it's also so in South Africa, I think, because more or less around the time you guys had communism, we had apartheid. So during that time also there was this huge censorship of stuff. I think a lot of stuff didn't make it into our mainstream consciousness like until now, with like Amazon making it possible for us to buy whatever the hell we want. So, and also, you know, yes, things like books big. And the problem that I always had with bookstores is bookstores kind of manipulate what you can buy, because it manipulated if that was your only source of information around to read. You know, they curate what they put into those stores. So it's mostly like your beach reads, your romances, like Nobel Prize or the Man Booker Prize or whatever from South Africa. They would get like their own little corner thing, and then we have like one really famous thriller writer who writes brilliant books, but I mean that's basically him, like he's the genre thing, and the rest of it is basically from overseas mostly, and it's very limiting. But basically started reading fantasy when I started reading Harry Potter. That was of Narnia, and after that was Lord of the Rings, and then I kind of just got hooked to it. But it's basically, I've always been willing to try new things. It's just that recently it wasn't.
Yeah, it's hard to.
My experience, I don't know, like in the side of the library, smallish, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to experiment when you have nothing to experiment with.
Like even now, until today, the only book that I've read by Stephen King is on writing.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Stephen King got big in Romania because Carrie, the movie, it was pretty popular after the revolution. So
yeah,
I think I've seen it on TV like 3 times at least when I was younger. So then they translated a lot of Stephen King books. But there are a lot of other horror-like authors that did get translated later on. And I think that the nice thing when you get books from overseas is that here we always got them from everywhere. We got like the US books and the UK books and like the French books and some Spanish, but like Latin American and Russian, of course, but that was already a given. So it's a nice mix to grow up with. Now, because in my case, it was a bit harder to find all of them growing up. But that's interesting. That's really interesting. But yeah, I would have liked to have all the choices from the start. That would have been great. I wouldn't have been mad at that at all. So
but since I could buy ebooks, I've basically gone almost exclusively over to ebooks because of the simple fact that I don't have to go to a freaking bookstore and say, well, can you please order me this after 6 months? You know, it's like because in our country, our shipping is crap.
Tell me about
Terrible. It's like,
Yeah, no.
and it's so when I get ISBNs to self-publish, I don't have to buy my ISBNs, but I have to send copies of my books to my national library for our cultural. I don't know what.
Yeah, I've heard that in other countries too.
Yeah, it's nice, but the thing that sucks about it is that I sent it by registered mail from my post office directly to their post bag.
Yeah.
And for an ISBN, they're like, well, you still haven't sent the others. What? How?
Yeah, no, sometimes the Romanian post office. Sometimes. Guys, it's almost 7 for me, so I think we should wrap it up for today.
Yep.
Because we've been at it for about 2 hours. And I would like to thank everyone who's been present in the group, in the chat today. It's been lively for how early this stream is for most people.
Yeah.
I truly appreciate that. And we'll see you next Friday on Sarah's channel, and then next Saturday here. Maybe if I do really well, I'll have a proper topic that we decide not before the stream. Not right before the stream. That would be great.
A good idea.
Although this reading one turned out really great and I enjoyed the conversation, I like to maintain an appearance of professionalism sometimes. I fail miserably most times, but you know, crazy author. I'll hide behind that label for everything I do that's not right. So yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you guys for being here, and hope you all enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you soon. Yeah. Bye.